What's up, everybody? My name is Shaun Moore, and this is the review of the new Cervelo Caledonia-5. Check it out. So here's my beautiful new Cervelo Caledonia-5 in the amazingly gorgeous blue carbon color scheme. I just picked this bike up from Winter Park Cycles in Orlando, Florida just before the holidays, and I've been able to get a couple hundred miles on it, and this is my unbiased review. So let's talk about the build, right? Let's start with the drivetrain. SRAM E-Tap Axis drivetrain, amazing, with the integrated cork power meter. I'm running a 4835 chainring set up front and a 1033 in the back. I live in Florida, so this is a little bit overkill, I think. I mean, I'll enjoy this when I go to the mountains up in North Carolina or North Georgia, but this is what it came with, so whatever, that's what I'm rocking. But so far so good, no complaints there. Cockpit, Cervelo's own carbon stem, which I love the look of this stem. It's so clean, it's so pretty. And these carbon bars, I absolutely love these bars. These have become my favorite bars. I had them on my S3 that I had before this bike, and I just love them. The way they fit and feel, the width, everything about it, the drops, I love them. They're perfect. I'll probably ride these bars forever. Amazing. I love the integrated computer mount with the integrated light mount or GoPro mount, which is kind of offset. It's not directly underneath the computer, it's actually offset, so your light actually kind of takes up this space underneath your stem, which I really think is a really cool feature and add-on. Kudos to Cervelo for doing that. We've got the Zip 303S wheel set, Zip hubs. I'm gonna be honest with you, these wheels are amazing. I was previously riding NV 3.4s. I feel like these are better in the wind. They roll just as good. They soak up vibration. I mean, I am super pumped on these wheels. I mean, these things are amazing. One nice feature too is this amazing Pro Logo saddle. I have the same saddle on the S3 that I had before this. I love the shape and fit and feel of this saddle. It's amazing. Don't ever change it, please don't. What's nice, this bike did come with a carbon rail version, the NAC, which is amazing. So super stoked on that. One last thing that I do want to show you. It's kind of hard to show you, but this bike does come with a ceramic speed bottom bracket, which is a pretty nice little touch. Kudos to Cervelo for speccing this out with ceramic bearings. So let's talk about the ride quality and maybe some of the changes to the geometry from previous Cervelo bikes, and maybe even go over tire clearance. So the biggest thing that caught my eye, obviously they're calling this modern road, which obviously everyone knows nowadays it can't be modern if you don't have drop seat stays, which it looks cool. I love it. I know a lot of companies are kind of going to the drop seat stay look. I think Cervelo nailed it though here. It's a super beautiful rear triangle with a beautiful clearance. These are obviously 30s. They say you can fit up to a 34 mil on this, which is pretty insane. The biggest thing for me is this new seat post, this D-shaped seat post with these drop seat stays. It gives this bike a lot of compliance. At first, I was kind of bouncing around and I was like, oh, this thing's kind of squishy and I don't know if I like it. But now after a couple hundred miles in this thing, I'm not losing any performance at all. I still have this super beefy bottom bracket area. I still have these kind of arrow, cam, tail, whatever you want to call it, tube shapes. This bike is still fast. It still accelerates. It just jumps off the pedals when I push down on it. It's amazing. But I will say that the comfort and endurance quality of this bike is because of this area right here, these drop seat stays and this D-shaped seat post. The compliance is amazing, super smooth ride, but doesn't give up anything in acceleration, stiffness. The biggest difference I'll say that I really noticed from this bike and my S3 is this slacked kind of fork and head tube angle. You'll notice that if you remember the S3, the front tire kind of cuts into the down tube. There's actually like a little cutout. They have it really tight there. But what's great is the trail on this bike is a little bit longer and wider. So it does create for more of a, I guess you could say, planted ride quality, which is pretty cool. I mean, this thing still turns great. You can dive it into a corner, but it does have a little bit more of a predicted turn, you know, what do you want to call it, apex? I don't know. You kind of have to start your turn a little bit earlier than you would on the S3. And if you're racing crits and things like that, you probably won't even be looking at a bike like this. You'd probably be looking at an S3 or an S5. But I will say, because of the longer trail on this bike, it does have a little bit more of a, I would call it, I don't want to say slower entry into a turn, but it does turn a little bit more predictable and a little bit more on the conservative side. All right, so I think I've covered most of it. This is kind of the first like bike review thing that I've ever done. Like I said, I'm just a customer. I don't have any skins in the game here. I don't work for a bike shop, and I don't work for Cervelo, obviously. But I'm super pumped on this new bike. It's exactly what I've been looking for. I really never wanted to have to say I needed an endurance bike. And of course, a lot of the endurance bikes on the market right now, they've got all these crazy stupid springs and shocks and decouplers and all this stuff that I just don't feel like I need. I just needed a bike with a little bit more stack, a little less reach, something with a little bit longer trail that feels a little bit more planted. You know, I want to get a little jiggy with it on Saturdays on the group rides, but sometimes when I'm riding solo, I just want to be comfortable and go out for 3-4 hours and put in, you know, 80-90 miles or do fondos or whatever. So honestly, I think Cervelo knocked it out of the park with this one. And yeah, go grab one. Winter Park Cycles has got a bunch of them in stock. Hit them up, winterparkcycles.com.